There are 3 times LeBron James was accused of quitting on his team. The player that is considered the so-called GOAT by the younger generation has been accused of quitting by even his teammates in the biggest moments and on the biggest stage. Those moments are never mentioned by any LeBron fan ever in a debate between Jordan and James for being the greatest ever. Why? Because there is not one instance and not one situation when Michael Jordan was accused of quitting. Here are the top 3 moments LeBron James was accused of quitting. Number 1. In the 2018 NBA Finals, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers were swept 4-0 by the Golden State Warriors. Steven Jackson, a former Golden State player that also played for the Pacers and the Spurs under Coach Popovich, said this.
You're starting shooting guard, make a bonehead play, and you do everything you can to win game 1. You had a great game, and you don't win it. That took a lot out of him. He quit. I don't want to hear nothing about no hand or none of that. He quit. He knew he was playing against a better team. After game 1, he knew he was beat. Point blank, bro. It had nothing to do with his hand. If your hand, hey, okay, we talking about Steph. His ankle. He was out there still playing. You're not hurt. You're not hurt, LeBron. Just leave it alone.
Okay, well, hold on.
We can't make excuses. They got swept, okay? 4-0. Take it like a man. Go home, bro. Hit your hand up. Have a great offseason. Figure out where you're going. But do not make that as an excuse. Y'all got swept by a better team. The whole world knows that.
Jackson literally and straight up said that LeBron quit on his team. This is a guy who played in the NBA, had a good career, played for good coaches, and knows what the hell he's talking about. Number 2. Eddie House, a former teammate of LeBron James from the Miami Heat, accused James of quitting on the Heat in the 2011 NBA Finals. House also said that James cannot be considered as the greatest ever because he quit. Here's the actual video of the statements House made.
Can't get over the fact that he didn't show up in Dallas. Not because I was on the team. Not that I was on the team, but the fact that he was the best player and everybody was depending on him to show up and do what he does, and he was MIA.
He had a bad game.
No, he had a bad series.
Yeah.
No, a bad series. Jordan never had that. People killed James Harden for having a bad series last year, right? Oh, no, he ain't as good as he is. But you're going to say somebody that quit in the finals at the end of everything when all the marbles on the table, that you're going to say he's the greatest of all time. I can't buy it.
Thank you.
I can't buy it for that reason right there.
So
I can't buy it for that reason.
Want to know what.
Number 3. After the infamous decision,
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat.
where on national TV, LeBron James, the so-called king, announced he would be taking his talents to South Beach, Dan Gilbert, who's the owner of the Cavs, accused James of quitting on the city of Cleveland and in actual particular playoff games against the Boston Celtics. Mo Williams, a teammate of James at the time, corroborated. These are the statements by Dan Gilbert. Gilbert, on the team's website shortly after James announced his plans to sign with the Heat, told the Associated Press late Thursday night that it's accountability time for James. He has gotten a free pass, Gilbert said in a phone interview with the AP. People have covered for James for way too long. Tonight, we saw who he really is. Gilbert feels James quit on the Cavs during their second-round series against the Boston Celtics, who rallied from a 2-1 deficit to eliminate Cleveland. He quit, Gilbert said, not just in Game 5, but in Game 2, 4, and 6. Watch the tape. The Boston series was unlike anything in the history of sports for a superstar. I've watched LeBron James for years since he came into the NBA. I have seen many incredible moments by LeBron, like the playoffs against the Pistons and others.
And scores! Oh my! What a shot by LeBron James, off balance, shot clock running down. He had no angle, and he drilled it.
I have also seen a lot of moments where it really looks like James lost interest and just quit.
Even though we up 2-1, I still feel like our back is against the wall. And this is a must-win game.
I saw moments in the Heat-Dallas finals when James was outplayed by a role player by the name of Jason Terry on the Dallas Mavericks, who finished the finals with the stats of 18 points per game while playing 32.6 minutes, and compared to James' 17.8 points per game while playing 43.6 minutes. Terry averaged more points per game while playing 11 minutes less per game than James. There are other such failures by the so-called king, and to me those completely disqualify him from the GOAT debate. Yes, Michael Jordan did not win every year, but once he got to the top and was in shape and ready to play, he never got knocked off, and no one would ever dare to think of accusing him of quitting on anything.